Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
I am good.
So today we are talking about the La Gloria Cubana Colección Reserva Robusto. The cigar is 5.5 inches by 54 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabacalera La Alianza factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Sumatran, and the binder and filler are both listed as Nicaraguan. It's blended by Ernesto Perez Carrillo and Johnny's Diaz. Price point is $7.59, and the cigar was released in July of 2017. So, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
I thought it was, I rated it good. So in terms of the look of the cigar, medium brown, slightly like a rustic red hue to it. Things well pressed, seems tight. Bunch of roll felt well done. Got a uniform give throughout the whole thing. Head finish off with a thick triple cap. Smelling the wrapper, cedar nuts, smelling the foot, white pepper, spicy cedar, and like this soy sauce going on, which I rarely get. Cold draw was kind of mundane with namely like a dry cardboard coming through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this had a pretty interesting pre-light aroma. You got like a mix of leather and light barnyard, while the foot gave like a mix of like pipe tobacco and plum-like sweetness. And the pre-light draw brought kind of that same pipe tobacco and plum-like sweetness that I was getting from the foot. So that was pretty interesting. So in regards to the flavor profile, take us through your experience.
First third, really tasty combo of spice, sweetness, and earthiness, kind of all together. Notes of sweet cream nuttiness, spicy cedar, baking spices, like a graphite, like a pencil lead kind of a minerals coming through. Retro, greater depth of that sweet cream nuttiness, spicy cedar, and then a bread note started coming through as well. Finish, nice lingering white pepper spice and cedar, strength medium full, and body medium. Move on to the second third. The main difference is that wood transitioning. I thought instead of like that first third cedar type, it became more like a charred oak. So this in combination of the graphite minerals and spicy cedar gave the profile mainly like an earth dominant kind of one. Retro is by far the favorite part. So, still digging that white pepper, spicy cedar, sweet cream nuttiness, and bread. Finish carries over that same charred wood note that I tasted on the mouth draws, as well as a spicy cedar coming through. String still the same, medium body and medium full, and body B medium. Within the final third, I thought it brought back some of that sweet cream nuttiness lost from that second third. Other than that, the profile is exactly like the second third. I mean, it's still mouth draw notes as that sweet cream nuts, nuttiness, charred oak, graphite minerals, baking spices, retro still giving me, higher levels of that sweet cream, spicy cedar, bread, finished long, white pepper, charred wood, and no changes to the strength. I mean, it's still a medium full strength cigar and a medium body cigar. So all in all, it was surprisingly really good cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it began with like a slightly spicy cedar along with the general stone fruit sweetness. But after a few draws, that sweetness went away and a little bit of cream joined in with that slightly spicy cedar. Half an inch in, that cedar mellowed a bit and created a really nice and subtle mixture with the cream. And the retro hill was carrying a fairly spicy cedar with a nice zing to it. At an inch in, a slight sweetness was present in the background, while the slightly spicy cedar and cream kind of danced in the forefront. As the third was coming to a close, that cedar began to take the lead from the cream, and there was still a slight sweetness in the background, and the strength was slightly above medium. Getting to the second third, slightly spicy cedar was still up front with a slight creaminess in the background. That sweetness had gone away. Retro hill kind of continued on with that prominent spicy cedar note to it. At a half inch in, that creaminess increased a little bit, which created a better profile with the cedar. And then at an inch in, that cream receded again, kind of leaving the spicy cedar up front, and the strength had bumped up to medium full. In the final third, I got quite a bit of mintiness that joined in with the slightly spicy cedar. And then at half an inch in, that mintiness faded a bit, moving the cedar back up front. At an inch in, cedar gained a little bit of char while the mintiness remained in the background. And that's kind of how the profile will finish out with the cigar, and strength remained at the medium full mark. So in regards to construction for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
I thought both was good. So I rated both very good. So in terms of the burn, the only negative I thought was the samples I had was had a little bit of flaky ash to it. and it kind of kept falling in my lap, so that was a little annoying. But other than that, cool slow burn, 1.5-inch ash retention, pretty straight burn line because of the draw. Also really good, a bit loose for my liking, but the cigar never heated up, and I was able to taste everything without any hiccups.
Yeah, burn was very straight for most of the way, except for one touch-up I had to do kind of in the second, third. Ash held on a 1-inch increment, so it was a really good burn. In regards to the draw, it was perfect. Had just the right amount of resistance that I preferred. And there's one interesting note about the draw, and I don't know if you experienced this or not. I cut it really shallow at first, and there was still a piece of tobacco that was covering the head. So I kind of peeled that back, and underneath that, the filler is kind of like in a concave shape, almost as if that was, that bunch is there, and there's like just another piece of tobacco thrown over it. That's not actually the head or the cap for the head. So it was, and I smoked a couple of these, and they were all like that. So it's just an interesting thing that I noticed about it. So
I cut it pretty deep, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you made it just cut straight through where the filler was concave already, and you didn't even see it. But
yeah,
but it's interesting. It's almost as if that that the filler is set for the configuration that they want you to smoke it at, so that if you cut shallow, you'll kind of be there. But you have to make sure that you get rid of that tobacco that's underneath the cap as well. So, so overall, what are your thoughts on the cigar?
I'm pleasantly surprised by how much I like this cigar. When I think about La Gloria Cubana, and of course in the non-Cuban brand of La Gloria Cubana, I've kind of felt like it was a mediocre brand for the last few years. Just kind of average flavor profile, nothing that really stands out. Fairly mundane, linear kind of a thing. But I think this was a game changer. I mean, I think it was very smart to have, especially Ernesto, come in and help, perhaps revive the brand, right? And use his talented skills to blend this cigar. And I think once more, this brand is worth taking a serious look. I mean, I didn't think this brand has been good since the original Series R came out, like, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago or so. So this is a really tasty cigar. Definite fly under the radar kind of a cigar for me. Be more than happy to smoke more of these in the future.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty interesting cigar. I mean, it has some really unique pre-light aromas to it. They were kind of present right at the beginning of the cigar, but they faded away quickly. Flavor profile really good through the first 2/3. Final third fell off a bit. Strength is medium plus kind of the entire way. So it's not going to be just for everybody that likes maybe a lower strength cigar. But I think this is a really good reunion with Ernesto Perez Carrillo kind of coming back, like you said. LGC isn't kind of a brand that a lot of maybe boutique smokers or geeky smokers go after, but I think this cigar is definitely worth a try. And I've smoked a few of these and enjoyed them. I definitely smoke more of them. And plus the price point. I mean, this price point on the cigar is fantastic. So I think this probably will do well in regards to our value scoring. But getting over our scores, I gave it a 6.72. You gave it a 6.92. How do you think that matches up with the experience?
Match up well. I mean, it's still one of the many new cigars this year where it's just a really good cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd agree. Pretty good flavor profile, really good construction, good overall. So yeah, I think our scores are pretty close anyway. So they're in line with our experiences. So, but I think in regards to value, this is kind of one of those cigars that's up there this year. In regards to you get a sub $8 price point, but you get a really good experience for that. So anytime you can kind of mix those two together, that's going to be a good time. Any other final thoughts from you?
Kind of going back to your comments of like most hipsters the wrong way.
Hipsters the wrong way. When is it the right way?
Because there are some of those freaking hipster cigar smokers out there.
Yeah.
So if you position this in front of them, especially given unbanded, I mean, if they have a palate as well, they I think they'll be pleasantly surprised by this cigar, and pleasantly surprised by, or they should be pleasantly surprised by this cigar, and they should take more looks into some of the mega cigar companies out there, right? So great marketing strategy. I mean, this is the way that big companies needs to come back, by putting out cigars that have the talented blenders behind them that are kind of known, right? So yeah.
All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.